now available on e-readers everywhere. From the author of the Simp Trilogy, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, Manginas, They Look Like Men But They Act Like Ladies, and The Misadventures of Captain Sailor Holcomb's Stop Simping in the Workplace. Learn what mistakes not to make with women and protect your job with Stop Simping in the Workplace. Available on e-readers everywhere. In the previous video, I deconstructed and refuted the whole idea that black men wanted white women above black women. And when I deconstructed and refuted that whole concept, I approached it from the perspective of the insecurities of black women. In this video, I'm going to deconstruct this and refute this whole concept from the white male perspective. Now, in the minds of a lot of white males, there's this whole notion that black men lust after white women, black men desire white women, and black men go out of their way when a white woman pays them attention, and some even lose their minds when white women pay them some attention. And these are all ideas that were fostered by insecure white men and beta white men over the centuries, because many of these men pretty much could not deal with their own insecurities and feelings of inadequacy regarding themselves as it related not only to black men but to alpha white males. So they wanted to use the black male as a scapegoat to cover up for their inadequacies and their feelings of insecurities in themselves. So they would go out and say, because they couldn't attract the women they wanted to be with, they would go out and say, oh, this black man, he lusts after my woman. He is after my woman. We need to defend her honor. When in actuality, it's his own simp mentalities and his own beta male feelings of inadequacy that have him not having the confidence to go after the women he wants. Moreover, it's his own feelings of insecurity and inadequacy that has him elevating these white females to a higher position above himself and inflating them to a higher position than they actually should be on. And it's that feeling of inadequacy that is the real core reason why he's sitting here projecting these pseudo superiorities onto black men, saying that things like they are bigger and stronger and they have bigger penises, and this is why these white women lust after them, and this is why this white woman wants this black man so badly, and this is why this white woman wants to pretty much, we need to protect our women from this brute, when in actuality it's all has to do with his own feelings of insecurity, his own feelings of inadequacy, and most importantly, his low self-esteem, low self-worth, and complete lack of self-confidence. This is what fuels this whole mythology of black men lusting after white women, because this white man does not feel confident in himself to pursue relationships with the females he actually wants to have relationships with. So he looks for a scapegoat to blame for him not being able to attract the white women he desires and get the attention from the white women he desires. And because he looks for somebody to blame, he needs a story to tell. And the story that many white men want to tell is the story of this black man being bigger, stronger, more muscular, having a large penis, and these are the reasons why this white woman lusts and desires after this black man, when this is not the case at all. What really is going on is that this white male doesn't want to do the hard work on himself, because if he did the hard work on himself, he would be able to attract the white women who would want to pay attention to him. And this is the big problem with many of these white males who sit here and talk about black men lusting after white women. These are the guys who don't want to do the hard work on themselves like a MGTOW in many cases would go out and do, which is putting himself first,
focusing on the goals he wants to pursue in life, and living life for himself. When it comes down to many of these white males who go out here and play this finger point game, talking about black men lusting after white women, these are the guys who pretty much they are in many cases the biggest simps in the game. And because they're simps, they want to sit here and look for somebody to blame for them not getting the girl of their dreams instead of focusing on making themselves into the man they want to be. Because if these guys were to have focused on being the man that they would want to be, women would of any race would pretty much be attracted to them, and they would be able to spend time with women who had common interests with them. But because these beta males spend most of their time putting women on pedestals and elevating them to a higher, more privileged position over them, they pretty much miss out on many of the opportunities at relationships they could have, and then they're sitting there stewing in anger, talking about black men taking the women they want, when they could have had women who actually wanted to spend time with them. And this is the big problem with many of these white males who sit there and talk about black men lusting after white women. They're too busy focused on the women of their dreams to focus on the women who are really in front of them. Because if they spent time focusing on those women, they wouldn't be worried about some chick who they put a fantasy onto. They would see her for who she really is. And this is another big problem with your white male who sits there and talks about black men lusting after white women. When it comes down to most of these white women, you shouldn't be worried about what that black man is involved with. You should be focused on you. And if you were focused on you, you wouldn't be worried about that other guy or any other guy out here, because these are the same guys who not only have a problem with black males, but they have a problem with alpha males, alpha white males who are out here going out here getting women, because these guys, again, have feelings of inadequacy in themselves. And when it comes down to black men like myself, in most cases, we're not even interested in white women. In most cases, we don't even care about white women. We can take them or leave them. And whoever pays us attention, regardless of race, is going to be the woman we're going to get involved with. If a female offers a black man attention, respect, and cooperation, and offers sexual interest, that black man is pretty much going to get involved with that woman regardless of race, whether she be a black woman, a white woman, an Asian woman, an Arab woman, or an Indian woman. If that woman, again, offers us attention and intangibles and even offers sex, that woman is pretty much going to be a woman a man is going to pursue. Now, this is something that goes over the heads of many of these white males who believe this whole concept of black men lusting after white women and black men desiring white women. They just don't understand how relationships work, how things like attraction, chemistry, desire, and other intangibles lead to people connecting with each other, and this is why they come together. It has absolutely nothing to do really with skin tone. It has to do with those intangibles. But because many of these beta white males feel inadequate about themselves and lack that self confidence, they don't understand how relationships work. And many, because they believe that the woman is much more important than they are or better than they start getting angry and upset when these females don't choose them. They actually take it personal and start feeling rejected when this female chooses someone else. Most regular men, regardless of race, if a woman chooses a guy, they're not getting upset about it. They understand that there are four women for every one man out there, and they don't have to get upset because a woman that they had made some interest in went out and chose someone else. They know that there are numerous opportunities for relationships everywhere, and this is what goes over the heads of many of these white males out here who have these feelings of inadequacies about black men, you know, quote unquote, going after their women. Most men who have, or just regular guys, understand that this is not their women. This is not their women. The women are not their property. And that again, relationships with women are out here all the time. Opportunities for relationships with women are out here all the time. And you just have to have the confidence to go after those opportunities out here instead of going out here blaming somebody else and saying that this we have to do something to defend the honor of these so-called women of a certain ethnic group. You just go out here and or just be yourself, and you'll be able to attract women of any race. But your white male who feels inadequate like this, you know, a lot of them don't understand how relationships work. They don't understand how social interactions work. And this is why they come to these ideas talking about, you know, black men lust after their white women, black men desire their white women, and we have to defend the honor of these women. When you listen to those types of talking points, you can clearly see, you know, the simp and the mangina in these guys. And this is the reason why they are talking like this, because they see these women as being higher than they are. And because they see these women as being higher than they are, this is the main reason why most women do not respect these kind of guys, because these guys lack the confidence, again, to go out and live their life for themselves and pursue relationships with whoever they want to have relationships with. So they go out here and create this mythology around black men, trying to make black men into a scapegoat for their own feelings of insecurity and inadequacy, and saying that they can't get the women that they want because they don't feel that they are worth it, because they don't feel that they're worth it. So they go out here and do things and like trying to blame black men. And in the past, this is what led to groups like your Klansmen and stuff being what, as I call them, the original white knights, because this is what a white knight does. He's going to go out here and defend the honor of females who pretty much were never honorable at all. Females who pretty much were in relationships with somebody else or weren't even interested in them. That's the core definition of a white knight. And that's what we have with many of these white males who sit there blaming black men and talking and creating this mythology that black men want their women, when in actuality it's all about them not having the confidence to go out here and live life on their terms, not having the confidence to go for what they want, and not having the confidence to try to pursue relationships with anyone that they wanted to pursue, and pretty much not having the courage to be the person who they really want to be. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, subscribe.